Humans aren't born out of laying around on their asses. We've been born out of conquering a world. We're the dominant species. We built all this. We're powerful, and we're beautiful, and we're ready to build the next level of civilization in God's plan. But you must stop bowing to those who want to make you a victim. You must become the victor. If you love God and you want to build a pro-human future, then you are an enemy of the New World Order and Satanism. They want us shut down because we have the spirit. I'm jacked into the source. I know the secret, and I want to see you empowered. But you have to believe in yourself first. This is the truth, and everyone knows it.
It's Biden versus Trump. We want to live in a world that we want to live in and enjoy living in, or live in a nightmare. Vote for Trump, and you'll get the nightmare. Vote for Biden, and we'll be back to normalcy.
Yeah. So why is Trump winning? I mean, the New York Times poll this week came out, and maybe this will change it with the State of the Union address, but Trump was beating him rather soundly. It was quite a warning light, 48 to 43, also winning way more among women than he had before, winning outright Latinos. What do you attribute that to?
I don't know. I just don't want to feel the way I did, and many of us don't, after the election in 2016, where we couldn't believe that it happened. The guy is a total monster. And anybody, I don't understand it. I guess they get behind that kind of logic. They want to fuck with people, screw them, because they're unhappy about something. He's such a mean, nasty, hateful person. I never play him as an actor, because I can't see any good in him. Nothing at all. Nothing redeemable in him. And we have to, and whoever the people are who want to vote for him, and there look like intelligent people around there. Somebody, for some reason, it can't be. It cannot be. If he wins the election, you won't be on the show anymore. He'll come looking for me. There'll be things that happen that none of us can imagine. That's what happens in that kind of a dictatorship, which is what he says. Let's believe him. Take him at his word.
I did from the beginning.
Yeah.
I mean, I said from the very beginning, this guy is never going to concede power, and he still hasn't.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me just jump in here. I wanted you to listen to that because that's the sort of low IQ garbage. That's the sort of filth that Bill Maher has put on his channel for years. So you would have to be a spectacular retard of that caliber to say that Bill Maher has been fair to Trump over the years. And don't worry, we'll get back to that in a minute. But this is the sort of rhetoric that has been on Bill Maher's show for years. Bill Maher has said this sort of thing. And by the way, Trump did concede power. He left the Oval Office of his own accord. He left. He wasn't escorted out. He didn't drag him out of the office. He left. So this thing, like, he didn't concede power. He did. But Bill Maher is a disgusting drug addict. Oh man, marijuana is so cool. Atheistic piece of shit. So I don't understand why people are so enamored with him. I don't know why people are so fascinated with him. I don't understand why people are like, we really want Bill Maher to like us. Bill Maher is a lazy, drug addict, leftist millionaire that does absolutely nothing positive of any kind. Do you think that Bill Maher coming out and giving the most, milquetoast sort of, well, he wasn't Satan at this dinner, do you think this is going to change anyone's mind? No. No, of course not. It's not the point of changing people's mind. My point is, this guy has done damage for years. This guy has contributed to the problems that we have now. And now he wants to put his hands up and say, well, I'm just a centrist. Hey guys, I'm just a centrist. And yeah, Trump wasn't exactly the devil when I met him, which was a surprise. It's like, I'm just sitting here going, anyone who has paid attention knows that Bill Maher is not a centrist, he is a leftist. And he has brought people onto his show and engaged in Trump derangement syndrome for years. And you don't have to take my word for it. It's not only the Robert De Niro's. Bill Maher has brought on people to talk about Trump and talked about Trump himself that it really defies every ounce of what we've seen over the last couple of years. It defies all reason, logic, sight, smell, sound, taste, touch. There is nothing about what Bill Maher says or what he represents that is in any way accurate or honest. And I think that to try to categorize him as such, because now he's come out and said that, well, I had dinner with Trump and he's not Satan, I think that's insane. So anyway, I've got this clip that I want to show that I think is important, and then we'll get into the main video.
Around his presidency and attempts to pull him out of his office for various reasons. And what do you think will happen? But very bright country isn't going to.
I would say you'd have a point. Just a regular Republican president with Republican policies, I would say you'd have a point. But what is so alarming is the assault on democratic norms, what we were talking about here today. Things like threatening to put people in jail, threatening to put journalists in jail, wanting military parades, praising dictators, wanting to be a dictator. I mean, we are at a moment here. I try to impress on the people who are too young to remember a lot of presidents and a lot of elections, how incredibly different this is than anything that ever came before. I never much liked the other Republicans who were in office, but I have a renewed respect for them.
So he has a renewed respect for all of the uniparty rhino Republicans, the ones that got us into wars, the ones that put us in the situation we're in. He had a renewed respect for them because they weren't Donald Trump. This guy is an absolute retard. He's a clown. He's low IQ. He's low value, low information. And that doesn't even begin to cover the appropriate description of him in his show. So, he decided to meet with Donald Trump for dinner. And the thing is, I don't care that they had dinner. I don't care. I'm not going to be mad that they had dinner or upset or angry or you shouldn't have met with. No, Trump can meet with whoever he wants. But the way that this starts is with Bill Maher saying, well, here's a list of 60 things that you've called me, Mr. President. Here's a list of 60 insults. And then he has Trump sign it. And, Asmongold and him have a good laugh. The audience has a laugh. The things that Bill Maher has called Donald Trump are 1,000 times worse. The things that he's accused Trump of are 1,000 times worse. So, what are we doing here? This whole thing is a ridiculous spectacle, which you can do, but this doesn't help the American people at all. This doesn't help anyone. This is just a bit of something that happened. And I'm not distracted by this. I'm not impressed by this. I'm not angry at this. I'm just pointing out the fact that if you are a conservative, you do not have to immediately grovel and apologize and debase yourself and give up any sort of honor that they tried to take away from you for years simply because, now he comes out and says that Trump isn't Hitler. And keep in mind, don't think that I'm going to spare Asmongold in this either. Asmongold was a Trump deranged idiot too. He wasn't to the level of De Niro or Bill Maher, but Asmongold even recently said that he thinks Trump is a psychopath. His commentary on Trump is retarded. I mean, and keep in mind, I understand he's a Bernie supporter, so immediately his opinion is, you could take a shit on it. And it would probably be more valuable than anything that Bernie Sanders has ever said. But this is very interesting. You have two Trump haters. And Hasman is a Trump hater. Make no mistake. He understands that it'll get clicks and views to pretend to be neutral. But when you call somebody a psychopath and a con man and an extremist and dangerous, Like, the sort of rhetoric that Asmongold has used to describe Trump, I think is insane. I think it is hyperbolic. I think it is radical. I don't think it reflects the situation at all. Every time that Asmund talks about a situation related to Trump, it's this sort of, like, pejorative tone. And the thing is, the accusation at me is that, oh, you're a Trump supporter, so naturally you would just agree with everything that he says, everything that he does. That's the assumption. Well, I actually did a video just yesterday criticizing him about the tariffs. I don't think he should have let up on China at all. In fact, I should clarify, I think Trump should go harder on China as it relates to the tariffs. But anyway, yeah, this is about Bill Maher. We're going to talk about this. I just wanted to do that little bit of an introduction because I think it's important. It's important to get all the details out there and for me to say my piece.
Bill Maher got invited by Kid Rock to go to the White House. Yeah.
Okay, as you know, 12 days ago I had dinner with President Trump, a dinner that was set up by my friend Kid Rock, because we share a belief that there's got to be something better than hurling insults from 3,000 miles away.
Imagine that.
And let me first say that to all the people who treated this like it was some kind of summit meeting, you're ridiculous. Like I was going to sign a treaty or something. I haven't.
Yeah, they're going to go pay him off or something else. Yeah, exactly. And what a wild sentence. Yeah, well, this is the way politics is now. And, Kid Rock showing up to the White House dressed up like he's...
Yeah, maybe I'll just look for the original video and sort of cut out Asmund's commentary. Because I don't want this video to be an hour.
And now for what I know you've all been waiting for, I'd like to give you my better than hurling insults from 3,000 miles away. And Trump, a dinner that was set up by my friend Kid Rock, because we share a belief that there's got to be something better than hurling insults from 3,000 miles away.
I'm speechless. The audacity of spending 10 years calling somebody a dictator, calling them a unique threat. A dictator, he's a dictator, he's a dictator. Using all of the most hyperbolic language. I don't think he's ever called him Hitler, but it's probably been close. I imagine that people on his show have called Trump Hitler. But this sort of hyperbolic, toxic language that's been just oozing out of these people for years. And now Bill Maher's like, well, I actually believe that it's better that we meet than hurling insults 3,000 miles away. That's literally all you've been doing your entire career. And now you want, oh, well, we need to have a dignified talk. It's like, you've been lying about Trump for 10 years. And now you're coming to try to say that you're the reasonable one. It is insane.
And let me first say that to all the people who treated this like it was some kind of summit meeting, you're ridiculous.
Yeah, you are.
Like I was going to sign a treaty or something. I have no power. I'm a fucking comedian, and he's the most powerful leader in the world. I'm not the leader of anything, except maybe a contingent of centrist-minded people who think they're...
Centrist. Bill Maher has been in deep denial about how crazy the left is for years, denying all of their more outrageous things that they've done, refused to condemn some of the more outrageous things that they've done. I mean, this is a guy that has called Trump every name in the book, that has disparaged people who are Trump supporters. And when Jordan Peterson is sitting there going like, I see the country get polarizing. Like, Jordan Peterson comes in as the actual centrist, and he gets shut down by Maher. As though, well, no, you don't understand. You don't understand. Trump is a unique threat. I have more respect for those other Republicans. Like, get the fuck out, you freak. You pot-smoking derelict, lazy lazy, millionaire, leftist freak. Get out.
There's got to be a better way of running this country than hating each other every minute.
Oh my God. This is, for me, this is like CNN running that story. The rise of extremism. How did this happen? We have no idea. How have we done this? It's like, oh my God.
So, thank you. So, but I also think he now understands I have a job to do. White House, a person who played after the dinner, and I'm in bed watching 60 Minutes from the night before. And there's Trump in one of their stories, standing at a podium in a room that looked to me like one of the rooms and places we'd just been in. And he's ranting, disgusting, you're a terrible person. And I'm like, who's that guy? What happened to Glinda the Good Witch?
That is Glinda the Good Witch. You see, I think that Bill Maher, like one-on-one, he meets with Trump. Trump is cordial, he's polite. But when Trump goes out there, and I think this is the difference, I could be totally wrong here, but I think that Trump in his mind realizes that when he goes out there, it's not just about himself. It's about representing the American people and representing this country. And I think he takes that way more seriously than people give him credit for. I think people just assume that Trump did everything for himself, that he did everything for himself, that everything was for himself. I think that Donald Trump is one of the few billionaires who actually loves this country. Loves what it stands for, the apple pie, the baseball, I think Trump loves the institutions, and I think what's irritated him and pissed him off most of all is the way that these people have undermined the system to go after him. I think that's really what it's been about. I think that the system being undermined to go after him has angered him in a major, major way. So when it's a private dinner and he's just having, drinks and some food with Bill Maher, which I do agree with Asmongold that it should have been McDonald's. 100% it should have been McDonald's. It shouldn't have been like a nice fancy dinner. It should have been just Mickey D's. But I think it's the difference between an individual having a nice dinner with somebody that was recommended by a friend and somebody representing the American people.
And why can't we get the guy I met to be the public guy? And I'm not saying it's our responsibility to...
Yeah, anyway, we're done listening to him. He's just going to caterwaul on for another couple minutes. So anyway, he had dinner. It was pleasant. It was nice. He was impressed. And he doesn't seem to understand why Trump is more abrasive when confronted with a media that lies and misrepresents and distorts things. People like Bill Maher, who call him a dictator, who call him a traitor, who call him Hitler, who call him all these other things, who disparage him, who treat him in a way that is just absolutely indefensible and, in my view, treasonous. The media in this country is not the free press. They are the bought and paid for press. They are not advocates of free speech. They are advocates of their bottom line. And that's why nobody trusts them and nobody respects them. And Bill Maher has contributed to this continuously, repeatedly, over and over and over for years. There are so many clips to pull from where guests on the show or Bill Maher himself have made these Trump deranged rants. It's pathetic. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, Bill Maher had dinner with Trump. I don't care. I did this video because I think that the underlying subject is more important. Anyway, have a great day, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll see you next time.